Am I the a-hole for refusing to give or loan money to my stepsister for college? This might be long, but I really need to get it all out. I, 20F, grew up in a split household. My parents divorced when I was 6, and for the most part, I adjusted. I had a pretty normal childhood bouncing between both homes in a 50-50 custody setup. Then, when I was 11, everything changed. My dad remarried. His new wife had 2 kids of her own. Jace, who is older and already living on his own, and Emmy, who is 9 and still very much a child looking for something, or someone, to latch onto. And, unfortunately, that someone became me. Emmy was intense from the start. She had only ever known her mother and seemed thrilled at the idea of having a new sister. At first, I thought it was kind of sweet, maybe even flattering, but it didn't take long for her behavior to overwhelm me. She was clingy, constantly following me around, always trying to be part of what I was doing. When I was with my mom, she'd get upset and try to get invited over. If I was at my dad's, she'd knock on my bedroom door every 5 minutes asking me to play, talk, do something. Eventually, my dad installed a lock on my bedroom door to give me some peace when I was away at my mom's. I think that says a lot. At age 12, I needed protection from a 10-year-old who simply couldn't respect boundaries. I tried to be kind. I tolerated the energy, the constant attention, the endless questions. But Emmy never really learned the line between friendly and obsessive. She seemed convinced that we were meant to be best friends forever, and couldn't grasp that I had a life beyond her. Then came the breaking point. I got really sick, like bedridden, fever, can't move sick, and my dad and stepmom told Emmy to give me space. But Emmy didn't listen. She came into my room and tried to make me get up and play with her. I snapped. I was exhausted and hurting, and I told her to leave me alone. She cried. Told me I was the worst sister in the world. Said I didn't love her, and asked why I never wanted to spend time with her. My stepmom pulled her out of the room, and a few days later, we all sat down for a family talk. My dad and stepmom gently explained to Emmy that she had to respect my space, that I wasn't being mean, I was just sick. Emmy didn't care. She told me straight up that if I wouldn't be her sister the way she wanted, she didn't want anything to do with me. And honestly, that was fine by me. I was done pretending. I pulled back. Focused on my friends, my own life. Emmy hated it. She sulked, glared at me during dinner, muttered passive-aggressive comments whenever she could. But I stuck to my boundaries. Then, a year and a half later, she trashed my room while I was gone. And when I say trashed, I mean sabotaged. She broke my school-issued laptop and my phone. She tore photos, ripped my favorite books to shreds, and even destroyed the stuffed animal my late aunt, who had passed only a year earlier, had given me. I was devastated. That stuffed animal meant everything to me. After that, I refused to live 50-50 anymore. I saw my dad, but I didn't spend the night. I wanted space, distance, safety. And for years, I've kept low contact with Emmy. I'm civil, but not close. She made it very clear she didn't care about me when she didn't get her way, and I believed her. That trust never came back. Then, just before my senior year of high school, life dealt another devastating blow. My mom, my rock, my safety net, was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away on my 18th birthday. It was the worst day of my life. But she'd prepared. She left me an inheritance. A generous one. I also inherited her home, which I sold, as per her instructions, and used the proceeds to find my own place. I've barely touched that money. I've worked, saved, budgeted. The only time I dipped into it was when my job didn't quite cover the bills early on. My dad and stepmom know I got something, but they don't know how much. And I prefer it that way. Which brings us to now. Emmy is graduating and plans to go to college. Great for her. Truly. But she's not getting any scholarships, and my dad and stepmom don't have the financial means to help much. So, my stepmom comes to me, all smiles and sweet talk, and asks me to give Emmy money for school. As a gift. I shut it down immediately. She was surprised, or pretended to be. I told her flat out that I wasn't about to give someone money who once destroyed my things out of spite because I didn't want to be glued to her 24/7. I told her I didn't forget what happened just because we were kids. And I wasn't interested in funding someone's education out of guilt. She tried a different tactic. What about a loan then, she said. She can sign a legal contract. I'll even pay the legal fees. Then Emmy sent me a payment plan. Like she was applying for a bank loan. I blocked her number right then and there. My dad found out and asked if there was any chance I'd reconsider. I told him absolutely not. He said he'd talk to them and try to de-escalate, but my stepmom didn't let it go. She called, texted, emailed, even guilt tripped me about helping my sister. I wanted to scream, she's not my sister. But I didn't. I bit my tongue. I normally get along with my stepmom, and I didn't want to say something cruel. But the pressure kept building, and her persistence felt manipulative. Like I owed Emmy something just because we shared a roof for a few years. But here's the thing, I owe Emmy nothing. She crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. She's never once apologized sincerely, never reached out to mend the relationship in any meaningful way. And now, suddenly, she wants me to fund her dreams because we're family? Family doesn't destroy your safe space and then come calling for a favor.
So, no.
I won't give her money. I won't loan it to her. I won't co-sign anything. I'm focusing on myself, my healing, and my future, just like Emmy is focusing on hers. I'm not heartless, but I am done being expected to hand out forgiveness and money like I've forgotten the past. So, am I the a-hole?